Flylady Diane here, and welcome back to day 19 of the Flylady's 31 baby steps. As always, if you're just finding these videos, just go back and look at video number 1 and take it from there. You're not missing anything. We'll be here when you're ready. And to the rest of you who've been following along, I thought today was a really good time to kind of take stock and see where we were, because we've been baby stepping for 2.5 weeks. That's a long time, and maybe the longest time a lot of you have been baby stepping, that you've been keeping up with us. Now, when I say take stock, I want you to really think, have you been following all the steps in this program? And be honest, because we can't help you unless you're honest with us. If you have been watching these videos since day 1 and thinking, oh yes, I'll dress to shoes, another time. And by the way, yes, I'm dressed to shoes. I've got my indoor shoes on. We don't wear outdoor shoes in the house in Denmark. I've got my indoor shoes on. If you've been looking at the videos and thinking, well, I don't need a control journal, I don't need to use a timer, I want you to think really hard about that, because if you want what we have, those of us who are doing Flylady, we don't have perfect homes, but we've got clean, comfortable homes. If you want the peace that we've got, you've got to do what we're doing. Does that make sense? As I've said many times in these videos, I can talk to you all day long about the Flylady system. We could read chapters of the book, but unless you're actually taking 5 minutes to sit down and start a control journal, or taking 2 minutes out of your day to clear off a hotspot, none of this is going to change anything. So I want you to think about that. And you know what? If you haven't been following along, it's not a problem. Go back. I say to you, start off, here we are, at day 1. Start off at day 1 and just do what we ask and try it. And don't try and hop forward and say, well, that doesn't really apply and I don't think that's going to work. Try it and see. Now, on the other hand, if you've been following along, I don't want you to think, well, I didn't quite shine my sink like she said, or what it says on the website. You know what? Anything is better than nothing. And there is nobody, I'm telling you, there is nobody who does these 31 baby steps perfectly and gets it right every day. Because that just doesn't happen. There's nobody, we don't have time to do that. We've got busy lives, we've got family, we may have chaos going on in the background still. So all we want you to do is try and follow along, do what you can, and you will get there. And as I've said before, you don't need to be doing all of the Flylady system perfectly to get any benefits from it. Just do a little, just dressing to shoes. That is going to change things for you. Just spending 5 minutes rescuing that worst room in the house, that is going to start the ball rolling. But we can't, want to fast forward all the time. That's the problem. Even you might be experiencing that now. We're on day 19, and the last couple of days there hasn't been anything kind of sexy to add to the program. Right now we're always looking for the next exciting thing. We're scrolling on our smartphones looking for the next exciting story. And sometimes it just takes, the old, not very exciting routines, and we just got to go through there, and that's what will bring us the results. So, to get back to Flylady's day 19 on the program, we're just going to keep going with everything that we're doing right now. Try one of the missions, look out your clothes for tomorrow. And if you're not convinced yet about what things, by doing the system, what it's going to give you, then go and look on the Flylady website for the testimonial about the lady who writes in, who is spending the weekend in this wonderful guest house. It's in if you've got the Sync Reflections book, this is my one from ages ago. I think it's a white cover they have now. It's the very first thing in the book. It's on the Flylady website, and I'll put a link in the information on this video, and also make sure that we put a link on the Flylady Facebook page so you can go and read it. Because if that doesn't convince you, then nothing will. I remember reading that myself, like in 2006. That's when I first discovered Flylady. I remember reading that and thinking, wow, that's the kind of house that I want. And you know what? That's the kind of house I have. That's the kind of life I have. Because I've been consistent, not all the time. I haven't done this system perfectly, but every little thing that I do from this system has got me towards that goal. So that's it for today. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. I want you to think about, have you actually been following these baby steps? If you haven't, it's not a problem. Go back to day one and start there. And if you have been following them, give yourself a big pat on the shoulder, a big pat on the back. You've done brilliantly, and it doesn't need to be done perfectly. Okay, so don't often when I speak to my ladies, the ones that I'm mentoring, they will say, oh, I only shined my sink 3 times this week. And I say, no, you shined your sink 3 times this week. That is brilliant. In the old days, we wouldn't shine it at all, and we wouldn't know what was going on. So celebrate every little achievement that you have made with these baby steps, because we are moving forward and we're just moving in the right direction. Okay, we're not thinking about all the things that we didn't do, and please do not make huge lists of morning routine and evening routine, because that's just going to trip you up. We're just keeping to the basics, and that way that will give us the energy to get on and do more, and all the rest will fall into place. All right, so that's it from me, Flylady Diane. I'm feeling much brighter today. Thanks for your nice messages. Some days I just have an off day. I'm sure you do too, and we've just got to take it very easy on ourselves. And I'm going out to see if I can find some snowdrops in the garden. One of my friends had one the other day, and I'm going out to see if I can find a snowdrop out there. So I shall see you tomorrow for day 20. Go and look for some information on the Flylady website or in the book. Read some testimonials if you're not yet convinced, because that will maybe just give you the final push to just go ahead and do it. Do what you can. All right, Flylady Diane signing off from wonderful Copenhagen, and I shall see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.